If you're getting ready to DIY your website, there are a few common mistakes that I see most DIYers make that I want to talk to you about today to help you avoid them and to make sure that your website looks polished and professional. If you're new to this channel, my name is Ana Lea. I am the owner and designer behind Lea Design Studio, where I create custom Squarespace templates, courses, and resources to help you look great online. And here on this channel, I share design, marketing, and tech tips to help you work smarter and not harder. So if that is something that you're interested in, hit that subscribe button. And now let's dive into today's topic. One of the worst mistakes that I see that many DIYers make is that they jump into design first without really having everything ready. They just sign up for the platform and get to building. The reason why this is bad is because if you don't prepare everything that you need for your website beforehand, you'll waste a lot of time trying to do all of that at once. So writing copy, finding images, choosing your colors, deciding on fonts, laying out your pages. All of that takes time, and if you're multitasking and trying to do all of it at once, you'll inevitably end up frustrated and it'll take you a lot longer to finish. So for that reason, I recommend you actually get everything ready first and then jump into design. That means decide on your colors, decide on your fonts, decide on your features, write your copy, gather your images, and only then start building your website. The next DIY design mistake that I see is centered text. I don't know why, but a lot of the DIYers like to center text. And I'm not talking about one paragraph here or there. I'm talking about the entire page is centered. This makes your copy very hard to read, and most of the visitors will not want to stick around if your copy is hard to read. So left align your text. No matter what, always left align your text. The third DIY mistake that I see is that a website uses either too many colors or too many bold colors, too many strong colors. There, let's go with strong. What I mean by that, I know that you might have a palette that has 5, 6, 7 colors in it. But here's the thing. If you're using all of those colors, then your website will start to look like a rainbow. And that's not good because it'll look unprofessional and it'll probably not be easy on the eyes. And again, that will provide your visitors with a very lousy user experience, which will make them want to leave. So I recommend you limit your color palette to no more than 2-3 colors. And the way I recommend you do that is choose one main color that is going to be known as your brand color, an accent color that goes well with it and complements it, but is not the same. And then the rest should be neutral colors, really. So think off-white, charcoal black, navy blue, beige, stuff like that. Or very, very, very light shades of your main color. So for example, if your main color is red, make sure that one of the colors is super light red, almost pink, very light pink, kind of pastel-like almost. The reason I say this is because this will make your website look more professional and cohesive, and instead of like a jumbled, like a unicorn had a little too much to drink and spewed all over your website. You don't want that. So limit the color palettes that you use. Or when you use too many colors, when you use nothing but strong colors. So for example, let's say that your primary brand color is red and then your call to action is orange. And if all you use is red and orange and then you throw in pure black, that makes the entire website look too harsh and gives it that very amateur look and feel. So you'll want to pare that down with neutrals. This is why I say limiting your color palette and actually working with more neutrals or sticking to just one color and then tints and shades of it is a lot more effective and gives a lot more professional look and feel than if you just use the entire rainbow, so to speak. The next common mistake I see is creating pages for every single feature that you want. So for example, let's say that you offer a coaching package or you offer coaching, but you have a 3-month coaching package and a 6-month coaching package, and the only difference is the length of time. You might be tempted to create a separate page for the 3-month coaching package and the 6-month coaching package. If the only difference is the length of time it takes, then you don't need a separate sales page for each of them. You can have them on the same sales page. Another example would be if you have testimonials and then you go and you create a separate page for testimonials. You don't need that. Instead, what that does is create the opposite effect. Nobody's going to intentionally go looking for, okay, she offers coaching. Let me go see what her clients say. Where is her testimonial page? Instead, make it easy for them and include those testimonials on that coaching package page. Include them on your homepage. Include them on your about page. Weave them throughout your website instead of slapping together a testimonials page. Again, similarly, if you have an FAQ page, don't go making an FAQ page. Instead, put those FAQs where they make sense. If they're FAQs about working with you, put them there on the coaching page. If there are FAQs about your course, put them on the course page. Don't go making an FAQ section, an FAQ page for every single thing that you offer in your business. When you create separate pages for each of these features, what you're doing is creating a lot of thin content, what search engines consider thin content, which really does nothing for your website's SEO. It doesn't give enough context to the search engines what this page is about, and it doesn't relate to anything else on your site. But so when you weave that content that it relates to, this provides search engines with more context about the content on that page. For example, the FAQ section on your coaching package page, this gives search engines more context about your coaching package, which then makes them more likely to actually rank that page on your site better or higher than if you just had a coaching page and then an FAQ page separately. Another common DIY mistake that I see is too many items in your main navigation. So navigation is how your users move around the website, right? But the problem with that, and what most DIYers think, is that I need to include every single page because I need to let them know about this and that and the other. And what you're doing again here is you're confusing them and overwhelming them. You don't need a separate item navigation for each and everything on your website. Your legal pages have no room in your main navigation. Put them down in the footer navigation. Your testimonials and FAQ pages should not exist as separate pages on your website, so I'm not going to even address that again. If you have pages that only your clients are supposed to see, they don't belong in main navigation. And if you think that it somehow helps your process for potential clients to see, oh, this is what she gives to her clients, it doesn't. Those pages should not be in your navigation at all, whether that's top or footer navigation, period. Just leave them out. The less navigation items you have, the less items you have in your navigation, the better it is for your users. You'll want to include the main pages that will logically take them to take that next step towards working with you, rather than cramming them with every single page that you have on your website. Your landing pages, they have no business in the main navigation. Similarly, if you have multiple sales pages, they don't need to be there. Your thank you pages, they don't need to be in your main navigation. All of that needs to go and not be visible immediately. You can still link to those pages naturally throughout your pages, but they don't need to sit in your top navigation. Another mistake that I see is that you do not have calls to action on every page when you DIY your website. The thing is, when somebody comes to your website, they need to know what you want them to do. They will not guess that. Don't expect them to guess. Don't make them guess, because you're just making their experience unnecessarily unpleasant. Instead, tell them what they need to do. Tell them what that step is. Do you want them to sign up for a freebie? Tell them that. Do you want them to go learn more about you? Tell them that. Do you want them to leave a testimonial? Tell them that. You see where I'm going with this? Every single page on your website should have some sort of a call to action that takes them to the next logical step that they should take. And finally, the last mistake that I see many DIYers make is that your website is not optimized for mobile. So when somebody comes and looks at your website on mobile devices, text might appear jumbled, they might have to pinch and scroll, zoom in, photos are cut off or they appear blurry. Now, It really depends on where your users are coming from and how they're consuming your content. So this is something that you'll want to keep an eye in your analytics for. But statistics show that more than 50% of all website traffic is coming from mobile devices. Now, I'm not saying that 50% of your website visitors will come from mobile, but a certain portion will. And you need to make sure that they have just as good as a user experience as those who are visiting your website on desktop devices. Otherwise, you lose them, they'll go back to somebody else, and they'll probably never come back to your website anyway. So that is another tip for you. Always make sure to check your website on mobile devices and adjust design as necessary. And if you're looking for more help on DIYing a stunning, gorgeous, professional looking website that gets you clients on the regular, I have a course that is launching today. Doors are now open for Design to Delight, my signature course. So if you go to my website, layedesignstudio.com/DTD, you'll be able to sign up for the course and learn how to design your own client-winning website. That is it for today, and I can't wait to see you inside the course, and I'll see you next time.